Welcome to the HTMA Success Practitioner's Corner, a special series in which Susan Cachay highlights the incredible work being done by graduates of the HTMA Success Practitioner Training Program.
Welcome, everybody. I'm Susan Cachay with HTMA Success, and I'm here today with Kearsley. Thank you so much for joining me. And Kearsley is an HTMA Success graduate. And Kearsley, I just wanted to check in with you today and ask you a few questions about HTMA Success and your experience, and also just where things are at right now. So one of the questions that I always like to start out with is, how has HTMA shaped your approach to wellness?
Sure. Yeah, that's a good question. I would say that working with HTMA and understanding the impact of mineral balance on the body has given me such a rich appreciation for the way that healing truly ripples out. And I think what I mean by that is that in my own body and in my profession as a postpartum practitioner and a women's health educator, for years I've been tending things like my digestive system or helping people repair their digestive system or hormones, for example. And I didn't really understand until I hit mineral balancing and cellular health just how much less work I had to do repairing some of those things when my body had what it needed on the most foundational level to, again, just ripple out and initiate its own healing process. And that humbled me and actually was what drew me to want to take the practitioner training, was noticing how much less I was needing to constantly stay in this cycle of repairing and repairing. And I was noticing my body being able to lean back and things would kind of soften or stabilize in really unexpected ways.
Oh, that's such a beautiful way of explaining it, especially I think that the softening of the body in different ways is just I don't know, just a beautiful expression in that I do feel that's what happens on the program. As the body starts to get healthier, it actually starts to relax and starts to heal at a much deeper level. So how have you integrated HTMA into your practice? Because I do know that
Mm,
you work with a lot of postpartum women, as you mentioned. So how are you incorporating that within your practice?
sure. So I am incorporating it into my online programs right now. I have two online courses. One's called Animal Body, and it's for women. And then one is Mother Mammal, and it's specific to those who are expecting or pregnant or postpartum. And those students are currently the people that receive the HTMA uh, tests from me. And the way that I'm incorporating it is we're talking about the other layers like the lymph and the digestive system and the hormones. And of course, for postpartum mothers, what nutritionally sound menus look like, as I am, first and foremost, I'm a chef. And the way that I'm integrating the HTMA is by giving everyone the option to take that test and to understand, for example, let's look at your phosphorus. Let's look at, maybe how your digestive system might be showing up here. Pardon me. And really giving people the opportunity to pivot to create things that are bio-individual for themselves. That's something I'm really adamant about. I have a background in Ayurveda and lived in India studying Ayurvedic medicine, and the understanding that what you need and what I need is so different.
Mhm.
So in postpartum, for example, there's a lot of emphasis on giving people certain, congee or porridges or lots of kind of carby uh, bowl-shaped foods.
Right.
And it's really helpful to be able to give another lens of interpretation so that someone might be able to look at it and say, oh, maybe I actually need a little bit more protein and my body might not be tolerating all of these carbs so well. That's not going to actually heal my body, even though congee is a healing food for Chinese medicine, if my body's not in a current metabolic state to digest that really well. So I would say, to answer it, I'm integrating it by adding it as a layer of individual care to the students and the clients I'm working with.
That's wonderful. And that is one thing that I know we've talked about that in some of the group sessions, like the community of practice and the case study group, is that when you're learning how to work with HTMA and mineral nutritional balancing in your practice, yes, there is a framework, right? There's a framework that is taught. But also you also need to see the client in front of you, and there's always going to
Mhm.
be um, individual different traits or different things that a person needs individually, rather than just say, okay, this is an approach. So it's certainly not a cookie cutter approach, and it's not, okay, everybody's got to fit in this framework. It's, yes, this is a beautiful framework, and then we need to adjust it to every person, every client that we're working.
Yeah.
I really love how more practitioners are specializing in that demographic of, prenatal and support during pregnancy, and then and postnatal. And it's such a time when the body is using so many more minerals, and to just have that support, to have good nutrition and more minerals coming in. Wow, I mean, what a difference it makes for baby and also for mom, right? It makes a huge difference. And I don't want to
Yeah,
leave dad out. I know you're focusing on moms, but
I
more and
am. Yeah.
more, certainly, the importance of dad's health is coming more to light as well. But I love the emphasis on moms and supporting moms and moms' health, and in turn that supports healthier babies, right? So I
Yeah, and a healthier world, because if you're starting in the negative when you're trying to parent,
yeah.
it's because I've had the pleasure to be able to craft menus and support hundreds of families. And in that work, one of the things I've noticed is that postpartum, especially in our culture, especially where we don't have the felt sense of togetherness or community built support, things become so much harder down the line. And if we are working with mothers who are starting in the negative, the entire culture is going to get affected by that. So it's
Absolutely.
been really rewarding to work with restorative foods, but also to have this specific individualized lens to give people the understanding of where are you starting at, and also walking them through, like, it's okay that you're breastfeeding and on the program. It's okay that it's great to just start somewhere, which is one of my favorite mantras or adages in life, is just start here. Just start.
Exactly. Exactly. And it's like one
Yeah.
foot in front of the other, right? You don't need to think
Yeah.
any more than that. So, what would you say is the biggest lesson you've learned in applying HTMA?
I think you just said it. One foot in front of the other is a great way of saying it. I was kind of laughing when you said that, because it really, when we are working with such tectonic, maybe, or deep layers of the body, a slowness and an appreciation for patience are so required, because
Mm.
if you try to move something too quickly, the body, shakes and quakes around it. And I think that the best piece of advice is really just to put one foot in front of the other and know that, every step that you're taking is going to make an impact and have its own ripple.
Yes. Yeah, absolutely. And what advice would you give to practitioners who are just starting out using HTMA?
Hmm. I would say to approach the HTMA, if you are, oh, my fire just cracked. I don't know if you heard
Oh,
that.
no.
Um, I would say if you are just starting your practice, to approach what angle you're coming from the place that it's the most alive in your body, because that translates. There's so much information that we can learn about the HTMA, but there are going to be pieces that each of us are really drawn to, and letting that come through how we're approaching our practice is what's going to translate that to our clients. People can pick up on the ineffable pulse of something inside someone. And I know that some of my favorite practitioners and mentors in general have been people where I can tell that it's really alive for them. Not just that they know a lot, but it's alive for them. So some people have said, like, choose your niche. I would say, even if it's not a niche, just go in the front, go in the door when you first emerge, through the doorway that lights you up the most about the HTMA.
Right. Oh my gosh. Wow. Well said. That's amazing. I don't even have anything to add to that. I think that that's just very well said. So, Kearsley, where can people get in touch with you? We will put your information down in the information box below. But do you have a website right now that we can direct people to?
I do, yeah. My website is kearsleykitchen.com and it's the same as my social media. I'm only on Instagram, but Instagram is also at Kearsley's Kitchen. And that's where people can find me if they want to get in touch.
Wonderful. And we'll put that in the information box below. And if anybody is interested in HTMA Success, the practitioner training program, that will be in the box below as well. And you can reach out to me on htmasuccess.com. So thank you so much for joining me today.
Thank you for having me and asking such thoughtful questions. I appreciate it.
You're welcome.